Hello, everybody. Anybody here because they're nervous speaking in front of a group? Can I just get some ideas? I don't buy it. I don't believe you're nervous in front of a group. I'm going to prove it right now. When you have something very important to say, and you have a good friend, when you call them to tell them your best friend, nobody means more to you than your best friend, you have something very important to tell your best friend. Are you nervous when you call him?
No.
Well, why not? It's your best friend. If you blow it, you lose your best friend, right? If you have a good story and you screw it up, he won't get your story. But you're not nervous. Why is that? Because you trust your friend. I want you to think of your audience the way you think of your best friend. I'm not afraid of you. Do I look afraid of you? Huh? No. Okay, no problem. So you get that in your mind that this is not a group that's judging you. Somebody gave you permission to speak. It was the group. These people have no experience speaking in front of a group, and I'm going to prove to you tonight how relaxed they are because they know they can trust you. They are with a group of support that has invited them and given them permission and put them in power for 2 minutes to speak to you. And that's how I want you to think when you give a speech. There is no such thing as a group. It's made up of individuals, and they're thinking about what's in it for me. They're thinking about, I hope I get that raise. They're thinking about, I hope nobody picks on me. They're thinking about their own agenda. They're not worried about picking on you. You're not as important to them as you think they are. I can assure you that. All right. Having said that, let's get into the workshop. I have my own philosophy about how to write a good speech and how to give a good speech. First thing you want to do is have a purpose. If somebody is willing to listen to you, it means they put you in charge of their time. You better take that seriously. They want to know what's your point and what's in it for me. So when you speak to them, you better be prepared. No excuses. If you don't have something to say, don't say it. So today, these people are going to tell you something about themselves because we've given them permission, correct? When preparing your speech, and these people are going to come up with a 2-minute speech, what's your point of your story? What do you want the audience to remember? What's in it for them? Your topic is going to be something that means a lot to you. I want you to brag about something you're proud of, something that can inspire these people, something you did against all odds, something that you can offer to these people to make their lives better. Maybe something heroic, maybe something somebody taught you, maybe some advice, some professional advice, maybe a personal experience, but something you would like to share, something you would share with a good friend, okay? These are good friends. The first thing you want to do is, why am I telling you this? And so I would like you to learn that, And I want you to memorize it. And so this is the reason I have told you this story. And so when you have listened to me for 2 minutes, you will remember this. That's your conclusion. Now that you have your conclusion, you're going to put that at the end of your story. So, conclusion first. What's the point of your story? Part 2, let's start with an opening. Let's get them in. You want them, the audience to say, and then what happened? Okay? So start your speech with something that will bring people in and say, and then what happened? Don't give them the answer because you want them to hear the whole speech. Otherwise, they'll walk out after your introduction, you know? So part 1 is, what's your point? Part 2 is your introduction, bring them in. Now part 3 is the meat and bones of building up to your conclusion, okay? Now if you have a 10-minute speech, your body can be maybe 8 minutes. Today, they have a 2-minute speech. So I would say allow 15 seconds for your introduction, 15 seconds for your conclusion, and a minute and a half for your body, okay? And what you want to do in that body is pack it with facts. If you got a conclusion that you want them to be more healthy, start naming facts. Show that you know your stuff. Convince them because you're building up to your conclusion. When they hear that conclusion, they'll have heard all the facts. You are the expert for that 2 minutes. You got that? So, in summary, you're going to write down your conclusion. You got your point of your story. You can brag, okay? Don't be humble. You've got to teach them something and you don't have much time. Just come out with a highlight in your life. The notes are here. Read that. You're going to just start writing that. You memorize that introduction, okay? You memorize that conclusion. And so I want you to, boom. You memorize that because in Toastmasters and in real life, when you start to run out of time, you're going to cut your body short. Supposing you start talking and the audience is laughing and loving your audience and you go on and on and on, and all of a sudden the timer shows you the green and you slide into your conclusion, boom, on time, because you got your conclusion always ready. If they tell you, oh, we need it 20 minutes, you know that around 19 minutes you're going to jump into that conclusion. Doesn't matter where you are in that body, just segue. And so 3 parts, going to give you about 5-10 minutes. Your conclusion, and so, something you can memorize easily, maybe 1 line. Your introduction, 1 line, and so, and then your body, start packing it with little facts. On your body, when you're going to give this 2-minute speech, I don't want you to memorize it. Pick 3 things and just write 1 word for those 3 things. So if you're going to talk about the benefits of eating potato chips, you might just write salt, potato, vegetable oil. And then each topic you talk for 30 seconds. Just something to trigger it. Okay, crunchy. Oh yeah, I like to talk about why it's crunchy. Okay? So, get to work.